Today, we pause to honor the lives and legacies of extraordinary individuals we've recently lost, remembering the impact they left on the world and the inspiration they continue to provide. We'll also share updates on WWE stars who are facing challenges, moments that have brought out an outpouring of love, support, and prayers from fans everywhere. Their journeys remind us of courage, resilience, and the human spirit. Join us, subscribe, and become part of a community that cherishes these stories, keeps their memories alive, and celebrates the strength and passion of those who inspire us.
Bray Wyatt, born Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda on May 23, 1987, was an American professional wrestler whose creativity and storytelling changed the face of modern wrestling. Known for his haunting characters and deep psychological narratives, Wyatt stood out as one of WWE's most unique and imaginative performers. Tragically, he passed away at just 36 years old, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence wrestlers and fans alike. Wyatt first captured the world's attention with his eerie, cult-like persona as the leader of the Wyatt family. Blending elements of Southern Gothic horror and psychological drama, he created an atmosphere that was equal parts chilling and captivating. His presence in the ring and on the microphone made every appearance feel like a story unfolding in real time. Fans were drawn not only to his charisma, but also to the layers of meaning in his work. Every promo, every movement seemed to carry weight and intention. Debuting in WWE in 2010, Wyatt's journey wasn't without reinvention. From his early days as part of a tag team to eventually stepping into the main event spotlight, he consistently evolved as a performer. He became a 3-time world champion, holding both the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. Yet, beyond the titles, it was his creativity that truly defined him. The Firefly Funhouse segments, in particular, showcased his brilliance. A surreal mix of children's TV innocence and psychological horror that blurred the lines between fiction and reality. Outside the ring, Wyatt was deeply respected by his peers for his passion, kindness, and commitment to storytelling. He had a rare ability to connect with audiences on an emotional level, drawing them into his world and making them believe in the characters he created. When news of his passing broke, the wrestling community mourned not just the loss of a performer, but of an artist who brought heart and imagination to everything he did. Bray Wyatt's influence endures. His work continues to inspire new generations of wrestlers to think differently about their craft. His stories, his characters, and his creativity will forever remain a cherished part of wrestling history. The fabulous Moolah, born Mary Lillian Ellison on July 22, 1923, was a true pioneer in professional wrestling and a trailblazer for women in the sport. She passed away on November 2, 2007, at the age of 84, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape women's wrestling today. Moolah began her career in the 1940s, during a time when professional wrestling was dominated almost entirely by men. Undeterred by the odds, she carved out a space for herself and other women in the industry, becoming one of wrestling's most influential and enduring figures. Her fierce determination and undeniable charisma helped bring women's wrestling into the mainstream, inspiring countless young athletes to follow in her footsteps. She's best remembered for her astonishing reign as the NWA World Women's Champion, a title she held for nearly 3 decades, from 1956 to 1984. This record-breaking run remains one of the longest championship reigns in wrestling history. During those years, Moolah's matches drew significant attention, often serving as a highlight on wrestling cards that otherwise featured men. Her dominance and star power helped elevate the reputation of women's wrestling at a time when it was often treated as a novelty act. But Moolah's impact went beyond her time in the ring. She became a mentor, manager, and promoter, training many future stars of women's wrestling. Through her wrestling school, she helped launch the careers of several notable female wrestlers, shaping the direction of the women's division for decades to come. However, Moolah's legacy isn't without controversy. Over the years, she faced accusations of exploiting and mistreating the wrestlers she managed, leading to a more complicated view of her influence. While these allegations have sparked debate, they haven't erased her role as a groundbreaking figure who helped bring women's wrestling to national prominence. In the end, the fabulous Moolah story is one of ambition, power, and perseverance. She broke barriers in a male-dominated industry, changed the perception of women in wrestling, and left behind a lasting, if complex, mark on the sport she helped define. Brian Pillman, born on October 27, 1962, was one of the most captivating and unpredictable figures in professional wrestling. Known for his intensity, charisma, and daring in-ring style, Pillman carved out a legacy that still resonates with fans and wrestlers today. He began his wrestling journey in the late 1980s, quickly making a name for himself in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and later in World Championship Wrestling, WCW. A former football player, Pillman brought athleticism and energy to every match, thrilling audiences with his high-flying moves and fearless attitude. His performances earned him the nickname Flying Brian, a fitting title for someone who pushed the limits of what fans thought was possible inside the ring. As his career progressed, Pillman began to evolve beyond his athleticism. He developed the loose cannon persona, an unpredictable, chaotic character that blurred the line between reality and fiction. This transformation made him one of wrestling's most talked about figures. His erratic behavior, both on screen and behind the scenes, kept fans and even fellow wrestlers guessing whether he was acting or genuinely unstable. In 1996, Pillman took his talents to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he continued to push boundaries. One of his most infamous moments came during a storyline involving a home invasion, where Pillman brandished a gun on live television, an angle that shocked viewers and highlighted his commitment to realism. His willingness to take creative risks helped pave the way for wrestling's edgier, more adult-oriented attitude era that would soon dominate the industry. Sadly, Pillman's life and career were cut tragically short. In October 1997, just weeks after signing a new contract with the WWF, he was found dead in his hotel room at only 34 years old. His death was ruled an accidental overdose, sending shockwaves through the wrestling world. Despite his brief career, Brian Pillman's influence remains undeniable. He was a pioneer who challenged the conventions of wrestling storytelling, blending athleticism, emotion, and unpredictability like no one else. To this day, he is remembered as a trailblazer whose fearless creativity helped shape modern professional wrestling. Balls Mahoney, born Jonathan Reckner on April 11, 1972, in Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey, was a professional wrestler, best known for his wild, hardcore style in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, during the 1990s. Known as the hardcore chair-swinging freak, Mahoney built a reputation as one of ECW's most fearless and entertaining performers. He began wrestling in the late 1980s, working under different gimmicks in independent promotions, before making brief appearances in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, as Santa Claus, and later in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, SMW, as Boo Bradley. During his time in SMW, he worked alongside stars like Chris Candido and Tammy Lynn Sitch, Sunny, gaining valuable experience that would shape his later success. Mahoney truly found his identity when he joined ECW in 1997. Adopting the name Balls Mahoney, he became an instant hit with fans who loved his reckless brawling, hardcore matches, and never-say-die attitude. His trademark weapon, a steel chair, became an iconic part of his persona. Every time he swung it, fans would chant, "Balls," in unison, creating one of ECW's most memorable crowd interactions. In ECW, Mahoney formed a popular tag team with Axl Rotten, known as the Hardcore Chair Swingin' Freaks. Together, they tore through ECW's tag division with their brutal, chaotic matches and undeniable chemistry. Though they never won the ECW Tag Team Championship, their influence and popularity among fans were undeniable. After ECW closed its doors in 2001, Mahoney continued to wrestle on the independent circuit and later returned to WWE when the company revived the ECW brand in the mid-2000s. While WWE's version of ECW was more controlled, Mahoney's dedication to the hardcore style and connection with fans still shone through. Sadly, Balls Mahoney passed away on April 12, 2016, just one day after his 44th birthday, due to a heart attack. His career took a heavy physical toll, but his passion for wrestling never wavered. Remembered as one of ECW's true originals, Mahoney's fearless spirit and genuine love for entertaining fans cemented his place as a legend in hardcore wrestling history. For more than a decade, Joshua Samuel Fatu, the man millions of wrestling fans know and love as Jey Uso, has been one of the beating hearts of WWE. Charismatic, athletic, and emotionally powerful in the ring, Jey has become one of the company's most dependable and exciting performers, captivating audiences with his storytelling and undeniable passion for the business. From his unforgettable tag team runs alongside his brother Jimmy, to his breakout success as a single star, Jey Uso has proven that he can stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best in professional wrestling. But in recent months, that electric energy has been missing from WWE programming. Fans have grown increasingly worried as Jey has been forced to step away from competition due to an injury that has not only affected his physical health, but has also created uncertainty about his professional and personal stability. Behind the bright lights and massive arenas, Jey Uso now faces a battle far more personal than any he's fought inside the squared circle, the battle to heal, rebuild, and return to the life he loves. The injury. What really happened? The turning point came during a brutal storyline confrontation with Drew McIntyre, one that blurred the line between fiction and reality. McIntyre, known for his fierce, punishing style, delivered an assault so vicious that it left Jey writhing in pain on the mat. What fans witnessed on television was part of WWE storytelling, but what came after was no script. The aftermath of that match led to legitimate medical concerns, as Jey sustained real injuries to his upper body, particularly around his ribs and midsection. WWE officials and ringside medical teams quickly intervened, and Jey was evaluated immediately following the segment. Reports that emerged afterwards suggested that the damage was more serious than initially portrayed on screen, leading to a decision by WWE's medical staff to pull him from competition indefinitely. The attack left him physically drained and emotionally shaken, with doctors warning that returning too soon could result in lasting damage. What many fans did not realise was that this wasn't just a few weeks off. It was the start of a long, uncertain recovery. The rib and upper body injuries Jey suffered were reportedly compounded by the natural wear and tear of years spent performing at an elite level. Professional wrestling, despite its entertainment presentation, is a punishing business, and Jey has never been one to take it easy. The countless dives, super kicks, and high-impact moments that made him famous also took their toll over the years. This latest setback became a harsh reminder that even the strongest athletes have limits. The decision to rest wasn't just about healing one injury. It was about preserving his long-term health and ensuring that when he does return, it's not at the cost of his well-being. Recovery and rehabilitation. The long road. Back. Since the attack and the subsequent diagnosis, Jey Uso has been on a strict rehabilitation program designed to restore his strength, flexibility, and endurance. His absence from WWE television has been deeply felt, not only by the fans, but also by his peers backstage, who view him as a locker room leader and a source of positivity. Rehabilitation for rib and upper body injuries is often slow and painful, requiring a balance of rest, physical therapy, and gradual reconditioning. Sources close to Jey have described his recovery as disciplined and patient, but also mentally draining. The grind of daily rehab, the frustration of being sidelined, and the fear of losing momentum in a fast-moving business have all weighed heavily on him. Jey is known for his explosive in-ring style, one built on agility, speed, and intensity. And regaining that level of physicality requires not only physical recovery, but psychological resilience. Every wrestler knows that time off the road comes with risks beyond the body. There's the looming worry about losing a spot on the card, about fading from fans' memories, and about how quickly the wrestling world moves on. For Jey, who had been riding a career-high wave before the injury, the timing was especially cruel. Before being sidelined, he was enjoying the strongest singles run of his career, connecting with fans in a way few could. To be forced to stop, watch from the sidelines, and focus on rehab was an emotional blow that few outsiders can fully understand. What makes the process even harder are the personal and financial implications that come with extended time away. WWE performers, while compensated well during active competition, often rely on consistent appearances, merchandise sales, and bonuses from live events and pay-per-views to maintain financial stability. Being off the road means a cutback in income, and for someone like Jey, who supports family members and manages real-life obligations beyond the spotlight, the pressure can be immense. Wrestling isn't just a passion, it's his livelihood, and being unable to perform, even temporarily, can lead to uncertainty about the future. Friends and insiders have quietly mentioned that while Jey remains financially stable, the slowdown has forced him to make adjustments, both personally and professionally, while he focuses on his recovery. Health struggles and mental challenges behind the curtain. Injuries in wrestling aren't just physical. They take a toll mentally and emotionally as well. For Jey Uso, this latest setback has been more than a physical rehabilitation journey. It has been a test of mental endurance. Anyone who's followed his story knows that Jey has battled through ups and downs throughout his career. From his early days struggling to find footing as part of the Usos to his reinvention as a single star, he's always fought uphill battles. But this injury has presented a different kind of challenge, one that can't be overcome with adrenaline or crowd energy. Being away from the fans, from the camaraderie of the locker room, and from the energy of live performance has been especially difficult for Jey. Wrestling has always been his outlet, a way to express himself, to release emotions, and to connect with people. Without that outlet, the mental strain of injury recovery can grow heavy. Reports suggest that Jey has been keeping a low profile on social media, preferring to focus on healing in private. Friends close to him describe him as motivated but frustrated, eager to return, yet aware that pushing too soon could risk a setback. His family, particularly his twin brother Jimmy and other relatives in the legendary Anoa'i family, have reportedly been his biggest support system during this time, reminding him that his health must come first. For Jey, that's sometimes easier said than done. The performer in him wants to get back in front of the WWE Universe as soon as possible, but the human in him knows that true healing takes time. Debunking the rumors. Separating truth from speculation. As with any major absence in professional wrestling, rumors have circulated across social media and wrestling news outlets regarding Jey Uso's injury, his contract, and his future with WWE. It's a frustrating but common reality for high-profile stars. One of the most talked about rumours was that Jay's injury might be career-ending, an exaggeration that gained traction despite having no credible basis. While it's true that rib and upper body injuries can be complex, no reliable sources have indicated that Jay's wrestling career is in jeopardy. In fact, all signs point to a positive recovery trajectory. WWE medical staff have reportedly been optimistic, noting steady progress and ongoing evaluations that suggest he'll return to full activity once cleared. Another rumour that surfaced claimed Jey Uso was unhappy with his position in WWE and was using the injury as a way to take time off or even negotiate his exit. This narrative doesn't align with what those close to him have shared. Jey has long expressed gratitude for his role in WWE, particularly given his rise as a singles performer after years of tag team success. His storyline work over the past few years, especially in major feuds with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline saga, solidified his status as a main event level talent. By all credible accounts, Jey's relationship with WWE management remains strong, and his current absence is entirely due to legitimate health concerns. There have also been whispers that WWE might be keeping Jey off television for storyline purposes, hinting at a strategic reintroduction later in the year. While WWE is no stranger to using real-life events for creative purposes, sources close to production have stated that Jey's hiatus is indeed rooted in his physical condition, not a creative choice. Unlike scripted absences where performers are written off temporarily, this one is real. And WWE officials have made sure to respect Jey's need for full recovery. In truth, the only element of uncertainty is timing. No one, not even Jey himself, knows exactly when he'll be ready to return. Lastly, there have been quiet murmurs that Jey's injury might have been more severe than initially reported. Some of that speculation stems from the length of his recovery, which has stretched beyond early projections. But again, recovery times vary widely depending on the person, the injury's severity, and how the body responds to treatment. Wrestling injuries are notoriously unpredictable. 1 week of progress can be followed by a setback. Those who know Jey well have emphasized that while the road has been tough, he is far from done, and he's been taking the time needed to ensure his comeback is sustainable and safe. Financial and career implications. During his absence. While physical pain and mental strain are obvious consequences of injury, the financial side of a wrestler's recovery is often overlooked. Professional wrestlers, unlike traditional athletes in team sports, don't have guaranteed year-round contracts that fully protect their earnings during downtime. WWE provides a strong structure and medical support, but performers often depend on bonuses, merchandise sales, and live appearances to maintain their income levels. Jey Uso, known for his popularity and merchandise appeal, has likely experienced a slowdown in those areas since his absence. Though financially stable, the extended time away from live events and pay-per-views has naturally impacted his revenue stream. For someone like Jey, who's built a life-supporting family and managing responsibilities beyond the ring, the temporary dip in income serves as both a reminder and a motivator. That returning to form is not just about passion, but about stability. Financial pressure can weigh heavily on any athlete, and Jey's situation underscores the realities many wrestlers face when sidelined. Yet those close to him describe his attitude as pragmatic. Rather than dwelling on losses, he's focusing on long-term health and making smarter decisions about his future. He's reportedly been exploring other business ventures and partnerships outside WWE, something more performers are doing nowadays, to build additional security. Whether it's through merchandise collaborations, fitness-related projects, or media appearances, Jey is taking steps to ensure that when he does return, he's not only stronger physically, but also more grounded financially. The impact of Jey Uso's absence on WWE. Jey Uso's absence has been more than just a missing face on WWE television. It's shifted the rhythm of storytelling and fan engagement. As one of Raw's most dynamic and emotionally compelling performers, Jey brought energy, relatability, and authenticity that few others could match. His singles run had been a breath of fresh air, a mix of vulnerability, intensity, and heart that connected deeply with fans. In his absence, WWE has adjusted its creative direction, giving other stars more spotlight, but the void left by Jey's departure remains palpable. The chemistry he shared with audiences, both in the arena and through the screen, can't easily be replicated. WWE's creative team reportedly still sees Jey as a central figure for future storylines once he's cleared to return. His character evolution, from tag team specialist to solo warrior, has set the stage for a powerful comeback narrative. Whether he resumes his rivalry with Drew McIntyre or re-enters the championship scene, Jey's return is expected to carry emotional weight. Fans have expressed their anticipation online, and WWE knows the value of a dramatic return story. The only question now is when that moment will arrive, and how WWE will choose to tell it. Final thoughts. A fighter's heart and a family's hope. Jey Uso's ongoing recovery is more than just a wrestling storyline. It's a real-life story of strength, patience, and perspective. Behind the flashing lights and roaring crowds lies a man determined to reclaim his passion while keeping his health and family at the forefront. While fans eagerly await his return, Jey remains focused on what truly matters: healing fully, staying grounded, and ensuring that his next chapter is written on his own terms. The road may be long, but if history has shown anything, it's that Jey Uso thrives under pressure. His absence has left a noticeable void in WWE, but his comeback, when it happens, promises to be nothing short of spectacular. And when that moment finally arrives, the WWE Universe will be ready, not just to cheer for a performer, but to celebrate a survivor, a man who faced life outside the ring, fought through pain and uncertainty, and came back stronger than ever,